Slim and Cash Money were heating the streets up. And they actually went to Master P to try and get Cash Money on through No Limit. But Master P turned it down because he said it was a big street war going on at the time between Calio and Magnolia, and it wouldn't have been smart to sign Cash Money. Then Cash Money ended up going to get a distribution deal and made hundreds of millions of dollars and produced all the stars that they had.
Master P declined the opportunity to earn an additional $100 million. Instead, Cash Money's empire was founded by that single action. New Orleans was divided into two major cities in the late 1990s. Birdman and Slim run Cash Money, while Master P is in charge of No Limit Records. The streets were conversing. The city was ablaze. Every label aspired to be the next big thing. However, Cash Money actually went to Master P before signing their historic contract with Universal. They desired to collaborate with No Limit Records, capitalize on its distribution capabilities, and expand their movement internationally. In a recent speech, Cameron claimed that Baby and Slim were making the streets hotter. When they approached Master P to try to get Cash Money through No Limit, Master P declined. The city at the time was overly tense. The Calio and Magnolia projects are engaged in an actual street war. On paper, everything made sense, but he felt it wasn't the proper moment. However, that one choice permanently altered hip-hop. Cash Money chose to go solo rather than sign with No Limit. They secured their own distribution agreement, turned it into hundreds of millions of dollars, and assembled a roster that ruled the 2000s. Turk, BG, Lil Wayne, and Juvenile eventually emerged. At the same time that Cash Money began to soar, Master P's empire began to slow down. I'm about to start playing this video for you all, but first, please like, subscribe, and share your opinions in the comment box below. Now, let's get started. All right.
That you don't understand about the beef between Master P, No Limit, Baby, and Cash Money. You don't understand that. It was a song that Juvenile had that he didn't even perform. Juvenile's first single, when I first heard him, ever, or Cash Money, that song, Huh? So he's up in the projects, huh? And from what we was hearing in New York, that was a Master P diss. Was it or not? I never got confirmation of that, but you felt like it was. And they didn't perform that song. Yeah. But I don't think the audience, you have people there who understood it, and you have people who there just to be there because there's a complex card. And they're like, oh, I'm at the verses. So I felt there was an audience and pockets of people in the audience that didn't fully understand what was going on and the magnitude of that battle. It was a time where Baby and Slim, Master P was on first. Of course, people know that, or whether you know it or not, I'm telling you. And Baby and Slim and Cash Money were heating the streets up. And they actually went to Master P to try and get Cash Money on through No Limit. But Master P turned it down because he said it was a big street war going on at the time between Calio and Magnolia, and it wouldn't have been smart to sign Cash Money. Then Cash Money ended up going to get a distribution deal and made hundreds of millions of dollars and produced all the stars that they had. But if I had one problem with the verses, I felt it shouldn't have been there. Even though it was crowded, even though it was a lot of people, this was something that if you couldn't, and listen, I get that it couldn't be done in New Orleans. Somebody might have got shot, at least 2 stabbings minimal. I'm not supporting that or nothing, but that's how much, or the magnitude, you gotta think about, these are 2 rap labels and groups that, had the world watching, or at least the United States. In New Orleans, it's probably crazy. So I would have liked to seen it in Texas at least, if not New Orleans or nowhere in Louisiana, at least Texas. So niggas really would have understood it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there wasn't people there who didn't, but there was a lot of people there who didn't.
Well, niggas like LeBron understood, because from what I see there, he was there.
Well, LeBron's born in 1984.
No, you got me when you said, because at first I was automatically about to disagree. I was gonna let you finish because I don't want. What's that word? What's that new terminology? My new terminology? I don't want to step on your lines. Yeah, I ain't want to step on his lines. It's my new shit. Don't steal it. But when you said the project thing, then I said, "Oh, okay." I didn't know that Master P was going to sign the Baby, and he said no. And I never
It's
knew all
not
that.
the Baby, it's Baby, because you got to be very specific. You got the Baby, Little Baby,
Okay.
Fergie Baby.
Yeah.
You got Baby Stunner.
Baby Stunner. Okay.
And it wasn't that he's gonna sign them. Stunner and them was hot in the streets, and they wanted to come to him to figure out distribution. And Master P, he didn't respect. Not saying, pardon me, that's not the right word to use. It wasn't that he didn't respect what they had going on. He was saying that some shit was going on in the street from what he told when he was telling his story, that it wouldn't have been good timing to mess with Cash Money. So what you was gonna disagree about? What was the problem?
No, I thought you was gonna say because the 90s people don't understand, because we got somebody that was born in 90s or 2000s and she knows who Cash Money and No Limit
Can you name
is.
5 Cash Money records right now?
It's unlikely that Master P considered who would administer the game 20 years later when he rejected Cash Money. He was considering business, survival, and safeguarding his creation. To be honest, I respect it, since every true entrepreneur understands that sometimes the best course of action at the time may turn out to be the worst in retrospect. What's amazing, though, is how that one no became one of the greatest yes moments in music history. Cash Money refused to fold. They intensified their efforts. They ventured out, secured their own distribution agreement, and turned it into a huge collaboration with Universal Records, valued at hundreds of millions of dollars in long-term royalties and about $30 million up front. There you have it, real business, actual ownership. Here's what, in my opinion, makes this tale so potent. It demonstrates how a legacy can be shaped by time and attitude. Master P has already established his empire. No Limit served as a guide for self-sufficiency. Without the support of a major label, he was signing artists and making millions of dollars. Before the term was used in hip-hop, he demonstrated that you might be a boss. However, Cash Money immediately followed him with fresh vigor. They undoubtedly learned from his model, but they modified it to fit their own needs. They gave their music a more localized, ostentatious, and street-oriented feel. Hip-hop develops this way. One mogul lays the groundwork, and the subsequent mogul advances it even further. It's about legacy, not competitiveness. When you look closely, you'll see that Birdman and Master P accomplished the same thing. They assumed command of their company. The trail was made by one and refined by the other. And this kind of circle is what sustains this civilization. Here, nobody really lost. Both in different ways, they altered the course of the game. I think it's critical that we begin to view these tales as lessons rather than as blunders, because Master P taught all subsequent rappers how to think like CEOs through his work with No Limit Records. Cash Money's subsequent actions have shown how to take independence and expand it internationally. Everything is interconnected. Master P may have lost hundreds of millions of dollars as a result of that choice, but it also produced some of the greatest musicians of our time. Without that, Lil Wayne might not have reached his pinnacle during the Young Money era. When you think about it, that is an absurd ripple effect. So allow me to ask you all these questions. Do you believe that Master P made the right decision at the moment, or did he lose out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Which label do you think had a greater influence on hip-hop culture? Cash Money Records or No Limit Records? Please share your opinions in the space provided for comments below. And additionally, remember to like and subscribe. Tranquility.